Abdullah Badawi and Joe Biden, When the Lights Are On But No One's Home, by AZLAN ADNAN. Leadership requires mental acuity, stamina, and the ability to make complex decisions under pressure. When a leader begins to falter cognitively, whether through age-related decline or confirmed neurological impairment, the consequences are more than personal. They reverberate across institutions, economies, and the public psyche. This is the troubling parallel that unites two ostensibly different men, Malaysia's 5th Prime Minister, Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, and America's 46th President, Joe Biden. Both were once hailed as healing figures, Abdullah after 2 decades of Mahathirism, Biden following 4 years of Trumpian chaos. But both gradually lost public confidence, not due to scandal or malice, but because they seemed increasingly detached, mentally dulled, and ultimately unfit to lead. The Sleepy Statesman. In Malaysia, Tun Abdullah came to be known as Pakla yang suka tidur, Sleepy Pakla. The nickname was not merely a jab at his physical fatigue, but a national metaphor for his perceived detachment. He was seen nodding off during parliament sessions, international meetings, and even televised addresses. While some initially dismissed it as exhaustion or medication side effects, whispers within UMNO and Putrajaya soon gave way to confirmation. Abdullah had been diagnosed with dementia. Cabinet ministers reportedly complained of his lack of direction and intermittent lucidity. Civil servants received mixed signals, delayed approvals, and vague instructions. What was supposed to be a new era of reform quickly became bogged down by bureaucratic paralysis. As one former insider remarked, you never knew if he'd remember yesterday's decision or reverse it the next day. In the United States, Joe Biden bears a similarly derisive title, Sleepy Joe. Chow. A moniker coined by Donald Trump that, while initially dismissed as political mockery, increasingly came to reflect public perception. Biden's memory lapses, disjointed speech, and episodes of visible disorientation have been widely documented. He has been seen confusing names of world leaders, trailing off mid-sentence, and wandering away from podiums in front of the cameras. Like Abdullah, Biden's condition is not speculative. His confirmed diagnosis of early-stage dementia has fueled public concern over whether the President of the United States is cognitively fit to serve a second term. This concern transcends partisan lines. Polls consistently show that a majority of Americans, including many Democrats, harbor serious doubts about Biden's mental competence. Governance by delegation. Dementia in its early phases is often insidious. It begins with short-term memory issues, difficulty concentrating, slower processing speeds, and confusion under stress. These symptoms, though subtle, can be profoundly disabling for someone in high office. Both Abdullah and Biden came to rely heavily on advisors and inner circles. In Abdullah's case, his son-in-law, Khairi Jamaluddin, was widely believed to wield disproportionate influence, alongside a cadre of young technocrats. The fourth floor boys, a reference to the staff on the 4th floor of the Prime Minister's department in Putrajaya. These unelected aides were seen by many as the real power behind the throne, shaping policy and decisions, while the Prime Minister appeared increasingly disengaged. In Biden's case, his public appearances are tightly managed, his press interactions scripted, and his movements closely choreographed. He is rarely allowed to speak extemporaneously, and senior staffers often step in to clarify or walk back his remarks. It is widely assumed that key decisions are made by a circle of senior advisors, with Biden serving more as figurehead than executive leader. This governance by proxy model may keep the machinery of state running, but it hollows out democratic accountability. When unelected aides wield actual power behind the scenes, legitimacy erodes, and so does public trust. Tash. The toll on national confidence. Public confidence is not a renewable resource. Once a nation perceives its leader as mentally compromised, no amount of damage control can fully restore faith. Both Malaysia and the United States experienced this erosion in real time. In Malaysia, Abdullah's lack of vigor and direction led to widespread disillusionment, culminating in Barisan Nasional's historic setback in the 2008 general election. UMNO lost its 2/3 parliamentary majority for the first time in history, and Abdullah was eventually pressured into stepping down. In the United States, Biden's cognitive decline has become a defining liability. Even as his administration scores legislative wins and steers the economy through recovery, the overarching question remains: who is really running the country? With another election approaching, the Democratic Party faces a painful dilemma: defend a cognitively impaired incumbent or risk fracturing the party by replacing him. Sympathy versus competence. It's essential to distinguish between character and capacity. Both Abdullah and Biden are, by most accounts, kind, decent men. Their personal decency, however, cannot compensate for diminished mental faculties. Executive leadership is not a ceremonial position. It is a 24/7 command post. Empathy for aging leaders should not blind us to the risks of diminished competence. We would not entrust an air traffic controller or a surgeon with confirmed dementia to continue working. Why should we make exceptions for national leaders whose decisions carry far greater consequences? A cautionary parallel. The stories of Sleepy Pak La and Sleepy Joe serve as cautionary tales. They remind us of the dangers of avoiding difficult conversations about cognitive decline in high office. Age alone should not be a disqualifier, but a confirmed neurological condition must be. Leadership is not a legacy trophy. It is a duty that demands vigilance, mental clarity, and the ability to command trust in the present, not just nostalgia from the past. When the lights are on but no one is home, it is not just the leader who is diminished, but the nation they are meant to serve. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed now seek the skies, and slowly clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again. Its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.